You pull the case off your pillow to wash it, and there it is, that yellow stain sitting underneath, right where your face has been resting every single night. Your first thought is probably that it's dirt or that you're somehow sweatier than everyone else. Neither one is true. What you're actually looking at is a chemical reaction that's been quietly happening every single night since the day you bought that pillow, and understanding that reaction is exactly what makes it possible to reverse in one soak instead of scrubbing at it uselessly for an hour. Tonight I'm going to show you exactly why every pillow yellows over time, regardless of how clean you are. The one soak that lifts even years old staining in a single treatment, and the specific mistake that can ruin a memory foam pillow if you try this method on the wrong type. Let's get into it. If you're new here, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me how long it's actually been since you last washed your pillow, not the pillowcase, the actual pillow. Here's what's really happening under your pillowcase every night. Your body sweats during sleep whether you notice it or not, and that sweat carries salt, proteins, and enzymes. At the same time, your skin and scalp are constantly producing sebum, a natural oil meant to keep your skin and hair from drying out. Both of these substances soak through your pillowcase and into the pillow itself over time, and once they're there, they react with oxygen in the air through a process called oxidation, the exact same basic chemistry that turns a cut apple brown. That reaction is what actually produces the yellow-brown color you're seeing, not dirt sitting on the surface. But a chemical change happening to substances that have already worked their way into the fill. And sweat and oil aren't the only contributors. Saliva plays a bigger role than most people want to admit. Research on nighttime drooling suggests roughly 1 in 5 adults experience it regularly, and a single night of drooling can deposit somewhere around 5 to 10 milliliters of saliva directly onto a pillow, containing proteins and enzymes that oxidize in essentially the same way sweat does. If you sleep on your side or your stomach, you're statistically far more likely to be contributing to that yellow patch through saliva than someone who sleeps on their back. Here's a detail that genuinely surprised me, and it might explain why the stain is worse on one particular side of your pillow. If you use hair oils, leave-in conditioner, or styling products, those products act almost like a solvent, dissolving your skin's natural sebum and spreading it across a wider area of the pillow than sweat alone ever would. That's specifically why pillows tend to yellow more heavily on whichever side your hair rests against night after night. It's not a coincidence, it's literally your hair products acting as a delivery system for oil across more fabric. Now here's the one soak that actually reverses this instead of just masking it. Fill a bathtub or a large basin with the hottest water your tap produces. For each pillow, add 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide and 1 cup of baking soda directly into the water, stirring until the baking soda dissolves. Submerge the pillow completely, pressing down until it's fully saturated. And let it soak for at least 10 minutes, longer up to an hour, for a pillow that's gone years without a wash. While it soaks, gently knead the pillow every few minutes, working the solution through the fill material rather than letting it sit only on the surface, since the actual stained oils are often sitting well inside the pillow, not just on the outer fabric. Here's why this specific combination works chemically rather than just being a random mix of pantry items. Hydrogen peroxide is a mild oxidizer, and it directly breaks down the same oxidized proteins that cause the yellow color in the first place, essentially reversing part of the same reaction that created the stain. Baking soda is mildly alkaline, and that alkalinity helps lift oils and loosen them from the fabric fibers so the water can actually carry them away instead of just leaving them sitting in place. Together, they're attacking both halves of the problem, the oxidized stain itself and the oily residue holding it in the fabric. After soaking, drain the tub and refill it with cool water, submerging and kneading the pillow again for several minutes to rinse thoroughly. This rinse step matters more than people realize. Leftover hydrogen peroxide sitting inside a pillow can cause skin irritation if it's not fully rinsed out before you're resting your face on it again. Gently squeeze out as much water as you can without wringing or twisting the pillow, which can damage the fill structure. Then wrap it in a thick towel to absorb even more moisture before it goes anywhere near a dryer. For down and polyester filled pillows specifically, this entire soak can typically go straight into your washing machine instead of a bathtub if you'd rather not do it by hand. Same 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide and half a cup of baking soda added directly to the drum on a warm, gentle cycle, followed by an extra rinse cycle to make sure everything's fully washed out. Here's the mistake that can genuinely ruin a pillow if you get this wrong. Memory foam and latex pillows cannot go through this method at all. They cannot be submerged, soaked, or run through a washing machine. The foam structure absorbs water and essentially never fully dries from the inside, which leads to mold growth and permanent damage to the material itself. If you've got a memory foam or gel pillow with yellow staining, you're limited to spot cleaning, dabbing the stained area directly with a cloth and a small amount of the hydrogen peroxide and water mixture. Then, blotting dry, never soaking the whole pillow. One more safety note that matters regardless of pillow type: never combine hydrogen peroxide with vinegar, ammonia, or bleach in the same solution. Mixing oxidizers and acids or other cleaning agents together can produce genuinely dangerous fumes, so stick to the hydrogen peroxide and baking soda combination on its own rather than layering in extra ingredients hoping for a stronger result. Once your pillow's dry, or right before drying if it's down or polyester, tossing a couple tennis balls or dryer balls in with it on a low heat cycle helps break up any clumping in the fill and restores some of the loft the pillow had before the soak flattened it slightly while wet. Here's the complete system, start to finish. Hot water, 1 cup hydrogen peroxide, 1 cup baking soda per pillow, submerged and kneaded for at least 10 minutes, longer for older stains. A full rinse in cool water afterward, gentle squeezing rather than wringing, and thorough drying with towels first, then a dryer with tennis balls if the pillow is down or polyester fill. Memory foam and latex get spot treatment only, never a full soak. 2 honest notes before you go. First, if a pillow is genuinely years old and has developed a persistent odor alongside the staining, that odor is often a sign of bacterial or dust mite buildup that's gone beyond what a single soak reliably fixes, and at that point, replacing the pillow may be the more practical option regardless of how well the stain itself lifts. Second, this soak addresses existing yellowing. It doesn't prevent new staining from starting again the very next night you sleep on it. A washable pillow protector underneath your regular pillowcase is genuinely the only thing that meaningfully slows the process going forward. Hit like if you're finally getting rid of a stain you've been hiding under a pillowcase for way too long. Drop a comment telling me if your pillow can go in the washer or if you're dealing with memory foam. Share this with someone who's been quietly embarrassed about their pillow for months. Click the next video for more, subscribe if you haven't. Take care, I'll see you in the next one.